Good evening. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Thursday, March 29th. We're starting off with the 15-minute chart again today. And as you can see, just like when we talked a couple of days ago, the Dow and the markets are essentially just flipping from one bearish rising wedge to a bullish falling wedge to a bearish rising wedge, etc., etc. And, you know, this kind of action and setup can typically turn into a big upside move more times than not. Now, we do have a lot of things impacting the market, especially quarter end, which ends tomorrow. So we'll get a better idea if this is action we've seen over the last few days is setting us up for a move to new highs next week, or if we're going to see a drop. The sell-off we had today, we were down 80 or so points, but we saw some very, very nice action in stocks. And when you look at it, the excuse for the sell-off in stocks today early was laughable. The reason they sold us off was the jobless claim numbers dropped. Hey, that's a good thing. But it didn't drop as much as people expected. We had 1,000 fewer jobless claims than expected. Absolutely ridiculous. A few weeks ago, even if we had just a small increase in jobless claims, the market thought that was good. Now, here we are after a slew of positive jobless claims reports over the last 2 months. Now the drops aren't big enough. Just silly reasons for them to retrace us. Looking at the daily chart, you can see we got all the way back to the 20-day exponential, right to the uptrend line. So let's see what happens here over the next couple of days. Back to the 15-minute chart, we did break back up through that bullish falling wedge going into the close today. That was a pretty strong up move we saw in stocks, and odds are pretty good that we're going to see continuation on that to the upside tomorrow, unless we get some silly news for them to sell us off. Russell 2K, after its breakout move, kind of quiet the last 2 days. Little candlestick here implies to me that we could see some upside action tomorrow in the Russell and in small cap stocks. So let's see how that goes. As for plays, just a quick update on some plays. ZHNE, we got that nice breakout on Tuesday. Little consolidation over the last couple of days. We're hanging nicely here, just waiting for a breakout. Little bit of volume, breakthrough 125, and off to the races we go. Same thing on NEI, consolidating here. We picked up some more today and yesterday at $1.41. We're about to get a positive MACD cross, probably tomorrow, and a breakthrough 150, and this is a stock they will definitely be chasing on that break. But we had a monster day in the chat room, and let's get there. IGOI breakout today. We jumped into this one in the chat room, 74.75 cents. It was a range breakout. There was some rumors there that IGOI's power management technology is being used in the iPhone. Who knows if it's true or not? We've played the stock many, many times in the past, and when it likes to run, it runs big, and it went to a $1.25, 75% move. How about that? Just a monster move. And again, some guys have been complaining that low volume stocks are traps. Just because a stock is a low volume does not mean you don't have to play it. You don't buy 50,000 shares of the stock, but if you just bought 1,000 shares of IGOI today at 75 cents, you could have made $500 on this one on 1,000 shares. So, you don't have to be buying thousands and thousands and thousands of shares to do well in some of these plays. It's just a matter of being patient, playing what the market gives you. Rebuy on this one. I'd like to see how the action is on this one, how it handles a dip back to the 90s, upper 80s would definitely be one to keep an eye on if it does see a pullback over the next couple of days. Zynga, game maker, we jumped into this one today on a couple of scalps. Our first target was $12.75. Blew through that going into the close. Very nice setup. Big volume on this stock today. 34 million shares. And as I said, this one had almost 10 million shares shortly after the open when we first got into the stock. And one thing I love to do is trade trends. And once you start trading for a long time, and this is just, a little bit of information for you new traders, remember how stocks act. I love trends. ZNGA has a nice little trend that when it gets big volume, it runs big. The last 2 times this stock has had big volume, it's run $2 on average. And the Facebook momentum is really starting to heat up on this one. Next target on this one going into tomorrow would be that 1320 to 1340 area is what I am looking for on our swing position here. And then, we'll adjust accordingly. If we follow what it did back in early March when it ran on big volume, it ran $2 over 2 days. So if that's the case, tomorrow should be a nice update in this stock. Now, quick mention on one other one. RENN. Renren. Big spike going into the close on this one today. We jumped into a small little position. But this chart, if it looks familiar, is sort of what we played on Amazon a week ago, which gave us a monster winner. We also have a nice little symmetrical triangle set up on RENN. And if we take the height of the triangle, and, it's between 2 and 250. I just went with a nice little round number of 2, going back to that 480 bottom there back in February. 680 top, that is a $2 height of the triangle. Add it to the breakout at 555, 560 area, and you get a move up there to 750. So even if you're not playing this one, again, just like Amazon, even if you don't play this stock, keep an eye on this chart, bookmark it, and see how this plays out. But Ren, over the last 2 months, has been a scalping machine. You pick this one up around 520, and you wait for 550 over and over and over and again. The reason this one ran is Facebook. There was some news out today that they're looking to partner with someone in China to make their push into China. RENN, the Facebook of China, as they call it. There should be some nice upside follow-through on this one tomorrow. A 570 break, and this one could really start to move. And the last couple of times, this one has had a big spike. It spiked to $6 the next day in pre-market. So let's see if the same thing happens on this again today. Motr. This one was so close to busting out 2 days ago, but it showed some very nice strength today. Got a sort of bogus print on the close, but I'm liking the action on this one. 125 is the breakout, but I would be accumulating this one down here, 115 and under area. Again, like so many other charts we have been playing, we are about to get a positive MACD cross, and this has been a very nice price catalyst on a lot of small caps recently. And, we're starting to see a lot of these small cap stocks set up. They've been sleeping for quite a while. We've got the Russell trying to break out slowly but surely. And even through most of this recent run over the last month on the Russell, the vast majority of small cap stocks have really been sleeping. We're starting to see them range. We're starting to see them move. And in my opinion, that is very bullish for us small cap traders. So things are looking up here. And we could start to see a lot of these charts start to break out really, really soon. So this one looks very nice, and it is overdue for a big move here. So 120, we probably look to press our positions and add to it. 125, off to the races we go. I mean, this is one that has potential to make a run up to that 150, 160 area rather quickly. So that's really it. Just a quick update. If you've got any questions on plays, feel free to send me an email, feedback@buysellshort.net or .com. Actually, before I go, quick mention, last 2 days, popper scan reading, very, very low. Can mean one or two things. We're in the midst of a sell-off, and we're barely down, really, if you look at it. Or we're about to get a nice market pop. That's been a very, very reliable indicator over the last year for market pop. So let's see if it comes to pass yet again. But for stocks under $15 a share, it got as low as 30 today. That is an extremely low reading. And stocks under $5, it got down to a reading at 12. So that is an extremely low indicator and tells me we could start to see a lot of setups over the next few days. So that's it. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.